How's it going?
What's going on, Tomas? How are you?
Good, good. How about y'all?
Good.
Pretty good.
I guess just kind of start off a little bit. Talking with Coach Forbes just over the course of the last season, he would talk a little bit about just, over the course of last year, maybe you were putting a little bit too much pressure on yourself when guys were runners in scoring position, things like that. Um, what has been kind of your mindset over the course of the off season to be able to get better in that area? I know, he mentioned, kind of meeting with Dr. Jenny Shannon and things like that. I mean, how much
Mhm.
has that kind of helped you out?
Yeah, it's helped a lot. I mean, we go over, talk about a lot like routine and having good, nice, deep breaths and stuff. But other than that, I think it's just having a year under my belt, honestly, having some experience.
Hey, Thomas. So obviously you guys had that gigantic seventh inning. At the top of it, Seton Hall, they got close there. They had a guy on third. You guys were able to get that third out. And then you had that offensive explosion there at the end. Can you describe how the team felt, how the energy was at the top of the inning as compared to the bottom of the inning, and what an inning like that does for your team?
Yeah, that's huge. Whenever you can have the momentum shift in your favor, it's always an advantage to yourself. It's going to get everyone going. I mean, people have good at bats, and the advantage just keeps coming and coming in our favor. So that's huge for us. I think this year's making a good pitch or something, and then just keeping that energy and having good ABs and just grinding.
Obviously we saw yesterday where Angel and Danny come right off the bat and kind of, get you guys right back into it immediately. Today, Angel leads off of that double and you guys are able to capitalize on that right away. I mean, just how important are those two to what you guys do, not only in terms of what they bring to the lineup, but also just that veteran presence that they both have?
Yeah, it's huge for us. It's being a veteran and coming on, getting the pitcher and seeing what we got. They give great information to the guys behind them and stuff like that. But it's very big for us. Very big to have those two guys back. They're special.
And so you guys had the shutout too today. Obviously, you guys had one back in May too last year. What do you think the shutout says about your team and about how you've been able to pitch and field the ball?
I mean, it just kind of like we're not giving up just because we were up big. Like we know what we're trying to do. We're trying to fill up the strike zone, compete at hitters, make good pitches, just not giving up. I mean, like getting lackadaisical. Like every one of those guys went out there and gave it their all, throwing every pitch with conviction.
It's kind of sticking to the pitching side. Obviously, first outing for Max here, about 314 days. I mean, I know you've known him for a long time now. I mean, just what did you see from him? I mean, how close do you feel like he is to kind of getting back towards, his old self a little bit? And just, I mean, how impressed are you with the fact that, he's even starting a game this early in the season after last year?
That kid's a bulldog. I mean, I didn't expect anything less from him. It's Max Carlson. I mean, absolute bulldog. It was very good to see him out there. I was so happy. Our whole team was so happy for him. Go out there and compete again. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, going out there and giving up one hit, I think. Yeah, it's awesome.
I think that's all.
That's all. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Tomas.
Thank you. Howdy.
What's going on, Danny? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I guess before we kind of get into today's game, I want to go back a little bit to yesterday. Obviously, I mean, you guys fall 2-0 hole right out of the gate. Obviously, there's worse things in the world. But for you guys able to come back, I mean, with Angel hitting the home run, you hitting the home run, can you just kind of take me through just kind of what y'all's mindset was coming back from the dugout? And also, I mean, Coach Forbes talked about yesterday how last year's team, one of the things it struggled with was, getting down and not being able to come back. You'd be able to do that right off the bat. I mean, just kind of what did you think that means for this year's group?
Yeah, I mean, we have ultimate confidence in our pitching to begin with. So we knew Schaefer was going to bounce back. And then, yeah, I mean, we're also very confident in our offense. We know we can bring to the table. We got some power. We're going to put up some good at-bats. So, it was nice to see the team respond after getting punched in the face a little bit in the first. But, yeah, last year maybe we might have rolled over. We had a bunch of younger guys, but this year we got some vets. So we were able to just, trust ourselves and put up some runs.
Hey, Danny. So you guys, obviously, you dominated today for the most part. At the end of the fourth and the top of the seventh, you guys had a situation where Seton Hall had a guy at third base, but you guys were able to clutch up in those situations. How do you describe the team's mindset in those 10 situations today?
Yeah, again, it's just trust the pitcher. I mean, we know how much work they put in. We've seen their stuff, obviously, all fall and all spring, so we know how good they are. And then also trusting the work that we put in on defense. We take a lot of pride in our defense. So, we made the pitch when we had to. We made the play when we had to. So, really proud of the guys for that.
We've obviously seen all fall throughout the preseason just what Patrick Alvarez has done at the plate. But the progress that he's made defensively, I mean, how much have you seen him really kind of grow in that area?
Yeah, he coming into this year, we always knew he could hit. So he worked really hard on that. Out in practice every single day. Just seeing how hard he works, it doesn't surprise me him making all these plays, diving everywhere. And it's nice to see. But it's definitely nice when you got somebody you can trust at second base, and that's something that he's developed into. And I'm proud of him, and I'm happy for him, and it's gonna be really good for us this year.
What do you think the shutout says about your team? You had one last year too, but it's a big way to start the year. So what do you think it says about your team early on for this season?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think it says a lot about our pitching. It's not an easy team to shut out. They're very scrappy. They put the bat on the ball. And I don't think we walked many guys. 2 guys today we walked. So like I said, it says they're pounding the zone. They're coming in. They're not giving in to guys when they get into good counts. And I'm excited because this is like a nice precursor, hopefully, to what's to come.
You might have heard me ask Tomas the same question, but Max, I mean, first time out there since last April. I mean, just how impressed have you been with him? Just not even today, but just kind of over the course of this, last month or so since he really started throwing again.
Yeah, definitely. He, I've seen how much pride he takes and has, with his recovery and, what he does every single day to get his body ready. And obviously seeing him in the spring, and, that's the Max Carlson that I know, that I've faced plenty of times. But, he looks great. I'm excited to see what he's going to do the rest of the year.
Good. Thanks, Danny.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, y'all.
Well, Max. I guess what did it mean to be back out there again, after about 314 days?
Oh, man. Words can't even describe the feelings. Excitement is an understatement. Playing baseball my entire life, getting into college playing because I play baseball, it's hard when it's taken away from you. And, it's really, really emotional moment for me going back with that.
Was there a particular moment, kind of, whether it be warm-ups or anything like that, where you kind of took a step back a little bit and kind of allowed yourself to kind of process that a little bit?
Yeah, probably happened after the first inning. Really amped up, and I got down, calmed down, settled in nicely.
So you guys had a gigantic win today, especially there in that 7th inning. How would you describe the team's energy compared from the beginning of that inning to the end of it?
Man, the team is looking fantastic. Bats are alive and running. And the energy just in the dugout. Last year, having to split, some of the pitchers would have to go down to the bullpen because of COVID and whatnot. But having all of us in there, I think it brings a lot of energy, and we're keeping that energy. We're not down, even when we're piling it on. It's still there, which is a great thing to see.
Coach Gaines, I think he's even said he's had these sort of conversations with you, but he talked about how he really thinks that you're just going to be an even better pitcher because of what you went through last year. I mean, just kind of how is that something you've kind of sort of processed as well?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a tough process to go through, and you got to work really hard to come back from something like that, and even get back to who you were before. But I had the greatest support staff behind me, my rehab back at home, my rehab here. Terry Joe, Coach Gaines, and the whole coaching staff was there for me, guiding me through this process. And I couldn't have done it alone. So big props to them for helping me through this part of my life, and hopefully it does turn out to be that way.
I guess how close at this point do you have? I know you kind of start kind of amping it up a little bit in January or so. I mean, kind of about where do you feel like you're at, kind of, I guess, to comparison to where you were this time last year, I guess.
Yeah, I feel great. I feel great every single day. Obviously, there's people who have had metal surgery, know how it is, but me and Coach Gaines are working every single day. We're always talking, working some kinks out, and we're smoothing it out, and we're back there.
What would you say is the thing you're most looking forward to about the rest of the season?
Man. Just the energy, the pitching staff, the hitters, the whole team, everyone is just super excited for this season. And I feel the same way. I think we're going to win a lot of games, and I think we're going to, get Carolina some respect. We good?
We're good. Yeah. Thanks, Max. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too.
Good win. That's all I can say. Hard to get shut out. Thought our pitchers threw the ball great. It's great to see Carlson out there after having surgery and having to walk off the mound last year. So that was the biggest highlight, I thought. And I was proud of our offense for not giving away any at bat. So complete game. And we made that one error where Mac went for that play, and it was bang bang. Had a chance to make it. So well played game for us.
Coach, I guess just kind of building off what you just said. I mean, Max, what did you specifically see from him that you really liked today? And just again, how proud are you of him just to be able to work his way back to where he is? You're pitching first weekend of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you can tell by looking at his body, he's a bigger kid. And that doesn't just happen. You have to work. When I say bigger, he's stronger. So you have a choice when you have that injury. What are you going to do when you get injured? You should come back stronger. Your body should be in better shape, because it's hard to come back off surgery, especially elbow surgery. And just to see him out there again and attack and have good velocity. Set 90-92, I believe, maybe got a little bit better, but he threw a lot of strikes, made big pitches when he needed to, and got a good amount of swinging misses.
You guys had that big seventh inning. What was the team's energy like compared with the top of the inning, with the bottom of the inning?
Same. Our energy was good. There's so much competition. When guys come in, they're going to have good at bats because they're trying to find their way in the lineup. And when you have a deeper team, that's a good thing because everybody is pushed.
You've obviously talked about Vance so much this offseason. The power, I know it's something we've seen, but is it something that when you guys were recruiting him and everything, did you think it would be quite at this level or what?
No, Pat, we definitely didn't. Credit to Coach Wiersbick, loved him in camp. Athletic, wiry, football guy that we talked about, could run. And Coach Weirs was like, man, I really think he's going to be good. He's going to be able to play all over the field. But he's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger. And the power, in a short amount of time, he's improving already as a hitter. You don't find many guys like we talked about the other day that have that much speed that can also combine it with that much power. So at times it can be tough because you might want to lay a bunt down, but you're thinking, geez, if he finds the barrel, the ball's out of here. So it's a good problem to have. But no, to answer your question, I'd be lying. I never really saw that power until he got here.
What do you think the shutout says about Max's performance today and the pitching overall, as well as the fielding?
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's one thing that we needed to address, you know, our starting pitching. We had some injuries, but still you have to be deeper from the starting side. But we also challenged, you know, the guys that may have been starters like a Connor Olio to excel in whatever role we need you to excel in. And we have a deeper pitching staff. So, you know, Max could have gone back out there, but we want to ease him into it coming off an injury. So we feel good about, if a starter gives us 4 innings, we can go a different pitcher, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and feel good. I mean, we played 2 games and haven't pitched some good arms. Connor Bobear went out there, and Caleb Cozart, you know, both threw great. And Connor Bobear's been in the mix to be our Sunday starter. It was a good time to get him in the game, to get him ready possibly for Elon. But I feel like our depth can really be a factor as we move along in the season.
We've talked a lot in the offseason about how maybe the biggest point of progression for Patrick Alvarez what he did defensively. He's made a few plays out there at second base that maybe you may not have seen him make in the past. I mean, how far along is he just compared to who he was this time last year?
I mean, much farther along. You know, and Patty knew, like I talked to him in the season, like if you want a chance to be an everyday player, you have to be a lockdown second baseman because you're not going to hit 15 home runs. But you see the ball, you can walk and get on base, and you can make things happen. And you need a guy like that in your lineup that is hard to pitch to. He may not have a ton of power, but he's just not an easy out. But you can't play every day if you don't play defense here. And Patty has, you know, worked really hard, went out and played second all summer, and that's his position. He's also played some left field and worked really hard at that if we ever need him out there. So he's, you know, our overall defense is what we've worked on too, taking pride in it and understanding the importance of it. A guy like Colby coming off the bench, who I think would be a starting shortstop against any team we almost play. I mean, he's that good. And I think he's going to be a starting shortstop here. To make that play and then Stoke come in and dig it, that says a lot about our defense.
In terms of just one more offensive guy, I mean, obviously, you've known Reese so long. For him to be able to get in there, steals a base, and then gets a hit in his first at bat. I mean, how cool was that for you to see, honestly?
Man, I mean, you try to take the emotional side out of it. You never play a young man because of who he is. So Reese, us putting Reese in the games because he's deserved it. He's had a good preseason. He's really worked. But then once he gets in and to reflect on the things that I know that not everybody knows because of the closeness of you know, our history it's pretty crazy, honestly. You know, it's just really cool to see. And that's a tough first college at bat, left on left, to go in there and stay on it. And then I thought his next at bat, I thought the umpire got big because of the score, which bothers me. But that's really cool for Reese and his family.
Vance had another home run today in his first at bat. So I was just wondering, how do you feel about his performance so far, and what do you hope to see from him going forward?
Well, I mean, I feel pretty good about his performance. He's got 3 jacks in 2 games and stolen base. And Vance has the leader written all over him. He's a freshman. So sometimes it's not that easy, but the guys gravitate towards him. You know, I can see why he led that high school to a state championship in football. We're just really blessed to have him here because I think he's going to have a great career. He's as good a kid as he is player too.
All good on mine.
All right, boys. I got to go to my aunt's 75th birthday. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Coach. Have a good one.
Thanks, Coach.